Welcome back, folks, to the random video blog where I, Graham G.S. Matthews, run down my rambling wrestling thoughts, share a few stories, etc., etc. In case you missed it, the random video blog now going forward will be up on Thursdays, and Fridays will be the home of the Wrestle Rant Radio excerpts. The show goes up on Fridays now. That's just when I record it now with Tom. So just a little bit of a switcheroo on the schedule for the YouTube channel. But anyway, we're back here today in the random video blog. I was thinking today, because I don't really have a set list of topics. Sometimes I do, especially during the summer for whatever reason. I have like a set list of topics. Oh, I'll be talking about this, that, whatever. Today I was thinking about, what can I talk about? What's like the biggest story going on right now? And I don't know if we'll talk about it tomorrow on Wrestle Rant Radio. There's just so much else going on. We probably will. I just wanted to get my thoughts on it now, just in case we don't go too much in depth with it. But it was announced this past week on Raw that next week on Raw, Goldberg is back. For the first time in 12 years, Bill Goldberg is back in WWE on Raw. And this has been rumored for a while, especially in the past week or so. I know rumors ran rampant that plans have all but been confirmed that it will be Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar 2 at Survivor Series next month, which has really elicited a lot of different emotions from various people across the internet, more so than anything else. And that's the case with pretty much anything in wrestling, but especially this, it seems like there's a lot of positive feedback and a lot of negative feedback. The match is going to suck. I'm looking forward to Bill Goldberg. I don't know why he's coming back. I've been waiting for this. You know what I mean? Like a lot of different opinions there. So I figured I would clear the air on where I currently stand on this feud. And a lot of Goldberg content going up this week from yours truly. I interviewed Goldberg last November. I never got around to publishing the interview. So I figured since hashtag Ask Jason, the big 150 episode got moved to Wednesday, I figured I would publish that interview on Monday. So that interview is up here on the channel. If you missed it, go back and check it out. It's under the interviews playlist. Talked to him last November to interview to promote his movie Checkpoint. Talk about a potential return to the ring. Brock Lesnar, The Rock, a lot of other guys that he's friendly with and has respect for. Just wrote an article today for Bleacher Report with my whole thoughts on the Brock Lesnar-Goldberg potential feud. And again, like I said, it's pretty much all but confirmed at this point. Since Goldberg is coming back, it's been officially announced by WWE that he will be back on Raw this week. It's not going to be a swerve. It won't be Heyman coming out instead. Goldberg will be there. He said himself on Twitter. I'm looking forward to it. I've always been the type of cat, and as you guys know, anyone who has followed me long enough, get it out now, I've only been watching for 8 years, which, if you do the math, was 4 years removed from when Bill Goldberg left WWE. Therefore, I have never seen Goldberg in WWE, let alone WCW. Now, obviously, I have through archived content and shit, but you know what I mean. I'm talking about through living through that. I was not, I did not live through Goldberg's WCW tenure. I was a baby at that point. I was 3-4 years old. I did not live through Goldberg's WWE tenure for as short as it was from 2003 to 2004, which was not a great run, I will say. I know he became world champion, but they didn't really book him right. And he ran into the roadblock that was Triple H, a feud that lasted way longer than it should have. The thing with The Rock was great, but other than that, it really wasn't that stellar of a run for Goldberg. So anyway, I think this is a nice chance to redeem himself. Not only Goldberg, but really a chance to right the wrongs they committed 12, 13 years ago for WWE, Goldberg, whoever. I think it's really, not that it's going to erase the Brock Lesnar match from WrestleMania 20 that was really bad. It was bad anyway, but it was also especially bad because the fans knew they were both leaving. So they shit on the match, they shit on both guys. The only thing they really cheered in that match was the special guest referee, Stone Cold Steve Austin. So again, I really think this is an opportunity for them to right that wrong. Again, not erase that memory, it's always going to be there, but really improve upon that match. And how much better can it be when both guys are 12, 13 years older? I understand that. Goldberg is almost 50 years old. Brock Lesnar's in his late 30s. Again, I get it. But really, there's no other match. If you are going to bring Goldberg back for one more match, and honestly, that's what I think it should be, one more match. Just one match, not a year-long run, not a run going even to WrestleMania. I want to see him do one match, lose, and the only person he's willing to lose to is Brock Lesnar. If it's The Rock or Brock Lesnar, those are the only two people he'd probably be willing to lose to. Anyone else, not even John Cena. And Goldberg, not that, not a Jericho in the ring in terms of putting people over. Let's put it that way. I like the guy. I talked to him. He was a friendly dude to me, but you can kind of get the vibe that he does not like putting other people over. He's in it for the money, and that's basically what this is. He's not coming back because he loves the pro wrestling business. He could not give two shits about pro wrestling. Yes, it got him where he is today. It caused him to become a household name. But I remember a couple years ago, I don't think he still does it. He did a podcast on Podcast One. And on the first 7 episodes, none of the people on those shows were from wrestling. And I don't know if it's because, I know it's because he doesn't talk to a lot of people from wrestling. He said to me, the only person he really talked to that's still in the business was Brock Lesnar, and sometimes The Rock. He looked at him as an inspiration of sorts. Other than that, he didn't talk to a lot of people from wrestling. So he doesn't really give a shit about wrestling. He doesn't talk about wrestling unless people interview him about it, like I did. So he's not coming back for one last glory run. He is for the money, and he is for his kid to see him wrestle. I can understand that, and I've talked about this before, but I didn't get to meet him, unfortunately. But when he was at the Legends of Wrestling event last June, in June of 2015, a couple days after my birthday, went there as a birthday gift at Citi Field in New York, and saw him spear Scott Steiner. Yes, Scott Steiner, in a flashback from WCW. I marked. I thought it was great. They played his WCW music. I went nuts. I thought it was a great moment. I tweeted like, wow, Goldberg to Scott Steiner. The tweet ended up all over the dirt sheets because Goldberg retweeted it too. We got 100 retweets or something. It was crazy. And I was like, I really want to fucking see Goldberg back. I would love to see him back for one more match. And it looks like that's where we're headed. So to answer my own question, here in the title of the video, I am excited. But I think it just has to be done right. And again, if you want more details on this, more in-depth stuff, be sure to check out my article I published today for Bleacher Report and how WWE can fully maximize the Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar feud. I just think it's more a matter of that Goldberg should be back for one match. I honestly really have no desire to see him against Roman Reigns. Like, if there's any one guy from the new era that he should face, it's Roman Reigns. Would it be a great match? Probably not. This Brock Lesnar match could probably not be great either. I don't think it will be. I think it could be a nice spectacle. A lot like Undertaker and Sting would have been a great spectacle in 2015 or 2014, whenever they would have done it, but they didn't. I don't think it would have been a great wrestling match between two guys that are nearly 100 years old combined. I know that are well over 100 years combined. I know that for a fact, actually, and even at that time, too. But I think this match will be along the same lines, especially in Canada. I don't think they'll shit on it. I think Goldberg, there's a lot of excitement for most fans anyway, surrounding his return. And I couldn't even tell you. And I know I'm not the only one. I know I am not the only one happy to see Goldberg back. Because I've always been in the boat that if he came back, cool. I would mark out. I think it'd be cool because I've never seen him in WWE before. But if he never came back, I would have rested easy. You know what I mean? I feel like it wasn't one of those returns like with the Dudleys or Kurt Angle or Jeff Hardy where I was dying to see him back so badly. Really, if he came back, I'd mark out, and I know I will be marking out on Monday. I tweeted that out after Raw on Monday, and it got over 100 retweets, like 125, 150 retweets or something, which it went viral all over wrestling Twitter. But I got a lot of replies from people that weren't wrestling fans, that used to watch back in the WCW, early WWE days, that fucking loved Goldberg, because he was a badass. And they're like, oh, I can't wait to call it my... There was literally one person who quoted my tweet and said, I can't wait to call it my brother when Goldberg comes on, and I'll be sharing this reaction. It was the reaction of the Miz markout moment on commentary. That gif I tweet out oh so much. I use pretty much any markout moment in wrestling. That's essentially me whenever a huge markout moment happens, whenever something big happens in WWE or wrestling in general, whatever. But I got a lot of replies from people that used to watch wrestling and probably don't anymore. And when they saw that, like, wow, Goldberg's coming back, I'll probably tune in. And I don't think the rating is going to skyrocket, but I would be very interested to see how it does on Monday. To see how many people, and I'm glad they advertised it. It would be awesome if he came back as a surprise, and you just hear the music blare. But I think it's even better that now that they're desperate for ratings, they advertise it 1 week in advance, because this is a pretty big fucking deal. The guy hasn't been around in a dozen years on Monday Night Raw, let alone in WWE, let alone in a wrestling ring. He's wrestled maybe a handful of matches since he left the company. He's pretty much been done with wrestling for the past decade. But I like it. Again, I think one more match, that's all you need. Brock Lesnar should avenge that loss. Goldberg is the only person that he has lost to that he never beat ever. He never beat after that. He's lost to really only a handful of people. The Big Show, Kurt Angle, John Cena, Triple H, The Undertaker, all of whom he's beaten. He's beaten them all. He avenged all of those losses, except for the Goldberg loss, because Goldberg left, as did he. And Goldberg's just not here. They probably would have done it sooner had Goldberg stuck around a decade. But they didn't, obviously. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to Goldberg's return. I think it's gonna be something new. I mean, I think they're really kind of not getting to the bottom of the barrel in terms of returns. But how many returns have we seen over the years? Like people that we have oh so desperately wanted to see back. And not that there's not many big returns left, because there is. I think people would go nuts in the same way for Goldberg that they would for Kurt Angle or for Jeff Hardy. Those are really the last two returns. I mean, Hulk Hogan, but he already kind of came back. You know, I think he will be back in the good graces of the company at some point. Warrior came back. I think CM Punk too, but he's another guy that if he never comes back, I won't cry myself to sleep just because I understand why he wouldn't come back. I think he will, even for a Hall of Fame induction, years and years and years down the line, just not anytime soon. I've been saying that since day one. But I think really that Angle and Jeff Hardy are the only last two big returns outside of Goldberg to WWE. So I don't think it's really necessary to bring him in as a regular member of Raw. I don't need to see Goldberg matches on Raw or SmackDown. I'd be happy with him wrestling one match at Survivor Series, losing, hopefully making it a decent match, or at least a passable match. It's another thing for Brock Lesnar to do. In the 4 years that Brock Lesnar, 4.5 years that Brock Lesnar has been back here in WWE, he has yet to compete at Survivor Series. He's been in the Rumble, SummerSlam, WrestleMania. He's never been at Survivor Series, so I'm looking forward to seeing him back on what is apparently still a Big Four pay-per-view, and losing or beating Goldberg losing to him, and then hopefully Goldberg can finally be inducted into the Hall of Fame come next April. So it's a great promotion. I think it's a win-win for WWE. It's promoting their own video game that both guys are big centerpieces of currently for WWE 2K17, a game I have not played yet. Probably won't until Christmas. That's usually around the time that I get it. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing Goldberg back. I am excited, and I want to know if you guys are excited. That's why I put a question mark at the end of the title of this video. Are you guys excited for Goldberg's return come Monday's Raw? Are you excited for a potential Brock Lesnar-Goldberg match? Do you disagree with me and want to see Goldberg back for more matches? Let me know in the comment section down below. Tweet me on the Twitter machine at WrestleRant. Find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Graham.GSM.Matthews. Various different ways to reach me. They're all in the description box down below with all my links and social media shit and whatever. So check it out, guys. I appreciate it. Enjoy your weekend. Be sure to stick around for the WrestleRant radio excerpts on Friday. Probably a lot more Goldberg talk to come. Like I said, be sure to check out the article, too, of the Goldberg article I wrote for Bleacher Report today, talking pretty much all about this and much more in that article. So check it out, and I'll catch you guys next Thursday for another new video blog. What it's going to be about, I have no idea, as the Road to Hell in a Cell, the Go to Hell tour, quickly approaches with Mr. Marceau. I will be there, cannot wait, and hopefully meeting Kevin Owens that same day in Boston. Fingers crossed. It'd be pretty fucking cool. So anyway, guys, Goldberg, Goldberg. I can't wait to chant that on Raw on Monday. I won't be there, obviously, but during Raw on Monday is what I meant to say. Hopefully you guys are in the same boat. Want to know your thoughts? Let me know. Comment section down below. Social media shit. Already been there. Already said that. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support is amazingly appreciated. Once again, thanks for the big 150 of #AskGSM. Went up yesterday. Check it out. You guys are amazing. Have a great weekend. I'm Graham GSM Matthews, and I'll catch you folks down the road. You're next!